Welcome into the Blurred Wire. This is I'm so excited to do this episode because this is what it's all about. I'm bringing blurs together, right? This is how we grow. This is how we continue the conversation because I've got two friends with me for this
I
one.
have to I have to interrupt you, Liam.
Okay, go ahead.
You're bringing blurs together, but I'm Milk Boy. We got Yoshi and then just William Rose.
People aren't going to see the tags on the thing, Alex. It's okay.
Oh.
All right, let me
No,
adjust it.
they see it, right? They see it down there. It's
Okay,
in the
it's better
corner of
now.
your thing. There you
All right.
go.
All right. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So, um, I'm bringing two of my friends together. Obviously, my brother, Milk Boy, longtime collaborator, and Yoshi, who, if you've been following, actually, I don't know if I've put the episode out yet by the time I release this, because we did a primer for a brand new day, and then I had to quickly pivot because Doomsday came out. So I did an episode, but I haven't finished it yet, and this one's probably going to come out first because Doomsday just dropped like 3 days ago, and I had to do my own reaction video, and now I'm doing one as a group. So Yoshi, this might be your first time introducing yourself to everybody, depending on which if when I put the video out. So go ahead and say hi, and yeah, introduce yourself.
What's up, everyone? I am Yoshi, and you can probably find me at Don't Forget the Hyphen on YouTube, and that's
Mm-hmm.
probably the only place. But yeah, look it up. It's the blue Spider-Man face.
This
That's
is the
me.
blues. Yes, perfect, perfect. So
He
without further
is
ado,
Yoshi. If you thought Yoshi was green, you're wrong.
you're
That's
wrong.
Yoshi.
Blue.
Yoshi is a blurred. You should have always known that. Like what is even the conversation? So without further ado, because we're gonna have a lot to talk about, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. So we're gonna dive right in, and the three of us are gonna live react to the Doomsday trailer all over again. Now, some of us have seen it multiple times. Some of us have only seen it once. So you'll get different reactions from us as we go along. But let's go ahead and dive right into Avengers Doomsday.
For the very first time, I promise.
For the very first time, there was no bloopers in this section.
There we go.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter. Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
I gotta say, that Latvian accent is tough, though. I think it's sick.
I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles. Presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
Okay, that's cute.
I do like the countdown
Okay.
to Doomsday. All right, so
Okay.
I'll go first to kind of give you guys kind of a framework. I'm gonna talk about try to hit on like three things I like, and I don't know if I have three things I don't like, but just like what I'm looking forward to and what I kind of thought of, and that'll give you time to kind of formulate where your head's at with watching it. And then we'll probably go Yoshi, and I know Alex, you haven't watched it as much, so it'll give you time to like kind of formulate what you're thinking. So my top three things that I like about it, it's gonna sound random, but it's like the Latvian accent is sick. And I know
Oh,
that's just like such a weird thing to like pick, but again, I'm not a huge fan of Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doctor Doom. I think his story should have ended with Iron Man, and I
yeah.
know it's going like it's like Tony Stark can't die. It's like we can't get away from Tony Stark. And it's like I understand he started this whole thing, but so that's why I'm like, well, at least if you're gonna have Robert Downey Jr. do it, I know he's at least gonna do a good job. And so far, even just with the accent, because obviously there's not much acting to see in that trailer, he's doing a fantastic job just from the accent alone. So I'm trying to look on the positive of like, well, at least if you ended up casting him as well, okay, at least he's gonna sound good, and at least he's gonna sound like it sounded Eastern European, but also kind of distinct. So because Latvia is obviously not a real country, so you can't just like look up what's a Latvian dialect or you can't get a dialect coach for a Latvian accent. You know what I mean?
I
You kind of got
mean,
to make it up.
Latvia, Latveria, you could probably.
You think it's the same thing? Okay. So I guess that's kind of what like I do like and don't like. Again, I'm still not a fan of Robert Downey Jr. coming back, but he does sound tough. And I do really like the richness of his accent that he's putting on.
Yeah.
The thing that I am my bold prediction is I think the Russos, in order to make sure that this movie is about Doctor Doom and not Tony Stark, well, actually, I'll give my bold prediction towards the end. So I'll give that towards the end.
Yeah, you said three
Um,
things you like, right? So that was
yeah,
that was
yeah.
a
So that
like
was
and a
one
dislike.
and dislike. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
another thing that I like, I think this is going to be the best portrayal of Thor that we've ever gotten in any movie. Because if we look at Thor,
I like it.
he was mostly bland in the first two, then overly comedic in Ragnarok, but most people that's their favorite. My favorite portrayal of him is in Infinity War. That's when he had the right balance of
Yeah,
humor
humor
and
and
grit and power and like loss and suffering. Like he balanced it super well. And then they
yeah,
undid all of it in Endgame.
yeah. It went a little too far in Endgame,
And then
where
in
he
Love and
was.
Thunder, he just threw him off of a cliff and turned him into a circus clown. So I think it's
Yeah.
like when you look at all the movies Thor has been in, when have we gotten like a great performance? Like Chris Hemsworth is a fantastic actor. There's nothing against him, but when have we been like, yeah, that's Thor?
Yeah. Yeah,
Infinity
it's been a
War. It's
while.
the only one. It's
Yeah.
the only one. And so
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're doing a good job of returning him to the character that he is.
Yeah, it seems
And
like. Could I say
go
something?
ahead.
It seems like on the good guy's side, he was the focal point of the movie. I
Right.
mean, maybe that was just the trailer, but like he's the one getting everybody together, right?
That's what it feels
Which,
Yeah.
like too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
basically has he's taken over as the leader of the
Hmm.
remaining ones, even though we have both Captain America, Sam Wilson for the Avengers proper, and then I
Hmm.
guess Yelena is supposed to be
yo, okay,
carrying
okay.
that role.
Wait. I know you want to. You have one more good point,
It's
right?
like if you got one, go ahead. Go ahead. Because I'm not done with my Thor
Okay,
point, but you can go ahead and
so
throw it out there so
so
you don't forget
I'm
it.
kind of the negative on this movie, whereas like it. So I guess I'll give a good point. This is obviously going to be a love letter to everything Marvel has ever done because they showed every corner of like the Fox X-Men. They actually really heavily put on the Fox X-Men. They had then they also had the Gambit from Wolverine and
Deadpool,
Deadpool. So they're
Wolverine,
clearly
yeah.
pulling everybody in.
Mhm.
My only thing is Endgame and Infinity War and even Spider-Man No Way Home, the latest Spider-Man movie, they all earned that love
Right.
letter, right? They built up to this story. This story is kind of it feels like it's coming out of left field. Like there's no foundation. And the reason why I had to go there is because of what Yoshi was saying about the Avengers team. This is a question I ask everybody. And nobody knows the answer because there is no answer. And that's my problem with it's more to say the MCU than with this movie specifically. But Yoshi, my good friend,
Yes, sir.
what is the current Avengers lineup?
Yeah, currently there's two separate ones. There's
Like that's already
yeah,
problem one.
And we
yeah,
So
talked
let's
and
let's
we talked about
let's
that a
say
little
not
bit.
the Thunderbolts. They're the fake Avengers, right? Like
New
they don't have the
Avengers, right.
trademark. So the proper Avengers team.
So we know it's
What?
Sam Wilson,
Sam
Sam.
Wilson. Okay, cool. That's one.
Uh,
Falcon,
Technically, probably Bucky.
Bucky is on the other team.
He's on the
He's
Thunderbolts.
he's with the Thunderbolts.
So
No,
you
that's
have
true.
Falcon, so Joaquin Torres.
Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon.
You
Oh,
have
okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
clearly
Um,
Ant-Man because he showed up.
Ant-Man is like
It's not really
still on the
established, but
wrong
he's
side of the
there.
law.
And
Let's
then
say Ant-Man speed dial. That's a speed dial
Ant-Man speed
character.
dial. And then at
Okay.
some point, Shang-Chi joined.
No, but Shang-Chi
well,
has stuff to do in a he's speed dial too. That's another half point.
yeah,
Well,
at this
Wong
point,
introduced him to Hulk, right? And
Hulk was
so,
also speed dial character.
and I guess Spider-Man still is,
Spider they don't remember
even
him.
though they don't
yeah,
remember Peter
He's not on the
Parker,
team.
but they remember Spider-Man.
they
Yeah,
do
So
but he
they
was
mention
never
remember
on the
Spider-Man, but they don't know who Peter Parker is. So none
So
of them
far
know
you've
who
said
Spider-Man
two.
is.
You got Sam Falcon, I'll give you that. Everybody else is a half point.
yeah.
Everyone's like, and we
It's
don't know who
like
the sixth one is because, like, you might say Hulk, but we don't know what's going to happen in Brand New Day.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's like so like there's no foundation for this. That's the
Yeah,
problem. It feels like
it is a problem.
to me it feels like Marvel's is hey, we're in a bind. We have no story. People are starting to not love our films. How about we just make a movie? And I can understand like it seems like they're saying, let's just make a movie and we're gonna throw
Josiah's trying to like figure
everything.
it out right now.
We're gonna
He's
throw
like,
everything at the
"Watch
wall.
Avengers." Yeah, throwing everything.
You're
Yeah,
still trying
that's
to think
what
about
they
the
do.
Avengers.
Yeah,
They're gonna
he's
be,
literally like,
let's throw literally everything at the wall and whatever sticks, that's our new direction. Like this isn't the end of a era. This is the beginning. And if this feels like it should be the end of an era movie.
right.
I think in a way it is. Sorry.
No,
No,
go
no, no,
ahead. Go
no. I
ahead.
was go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I think they're trying to close out the multiverse saga with these two movies. This
Hmm.
one and then Secret Wars in next year. Is it next year or the year after? Whatever the case.
Hmm.
I think that's what they're trying to do because I get your point about the all the other ones felt earned. I don't think that this one was necessarily earned either. However, they had Spider-Man No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, and those ones were the two that kind of really introduced um, the multiverse idea, as well as the Marvels, which honestly I still haven't seen it yet, but they do. I know of the
Honestly,
post-credit scene.
Marvels was fun. I had a good time with Marvels.
It
I
wasn't.
still haven't
Yeah,
seen
it
it.
It
wasn't
wasn't
bad.
anything crazy. It was a good watch. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was a good watch.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I think that's kind of what they're trying to do because they had elements of the X-Men and
Hmm.
two of the three examples I just mentioned. And I think that's what they're ultimately trying to do. They're going to wrap everything up and then pick up from wherever we leave off with the X-Men.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
it
gonna
it
happen.
honestly feels like they're kind of in because I know what you mean because it's like even if we were to say that like let's pretend Jonathan Majors never had all that happen to him and this was still the
Mhm.
Kang dynasty, even if you replace him, like replace Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom with Jonathan Majors Kang as the main villain, you still have all these questions. Who are on the Avengers, right? And like how do we
Right.
like you still have a lot of these. So it's not just that they pivoted away from Kang the Conqueror. It's a lot more issues with the world building. I mean, this is our second time seeing
Yeah.
Shang-Chi. Second time. And so
Yeah.
you still have a lot of those issues and it feels like Marvel's in a rush to get to the mutant saga because
Yeah.
they're like, we saw how well Deadpool and Wolverine did. They're introducing a lot of mutating stuff in Brand New Day, and they're like, let's just hurry up and wrap this up so we can just like get into the mutant saga. And it kind of feels like they're kind of rushing to the finish line, and it's like
Yeah.
they didn't really have to. So there's a
And so
lot of yeah. Go ahead.
and I have one other problem with this. With I get so it looked like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looked like it's going to
Hmm.
be a lot of fun. Like you know every character in the world is going to be in the movie. Very very cool.
Every character
But
in the world.
they're brought together because of Doctor Doom. Now Doctor Doom
Hmm.
is an incredible character, but I feel like he's another character. Like there's some character like Thanos. Boom, he comes out on the even honestly even Thanos. Thanos in and of himself isn't that strong, but he's strong because he has his Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Hmm.
And they were able to show us the power of Thanos' gauntlet because we had years of movies showing us the power of each stone,
Yeah.
right?
All
Hmm.
Loki devastated the world with just the Space Stone. We saw what the Power Stone could do in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So finally, we see a guy who has a glove that has what was it? it was
He fought
three
with like
when he first started.
four of them.
Yeah, very poor.
He had one
Yeah,
when
so
he
like
started, but
we
he
we
slowly
had an
got
idea of how strong this guy was
hmm
because we had seen all of his bits of his strength throughout the whole series. This is something I told William before. But Yoshi, do you watch any Naruto?
I used to, yeah.
So in Naruto Shippuden, right, the very first episode, they mention this legendary ninja Madara Uchiha,
Yeah.
right? Like Naruto's fox is about to fight, but then Sasuke stops the fox and he goes, "You remind me of Madara Uchiha." That's episode one. Okay. When Madara finally joins the narrative, he enters the battlefield. Do you know what episode that is? What episode
I
number is
know
when Madara finally hops in? His first
it's
appearance
like
when he fights
far.
the episode 322.
Yeah.
And from episode 1 to 300, they were talking about Madara the whole time. So Madara finally shows up. He defeats 1,000 shinobi on his own. And nobody who watches that goes, "Who's this guy? Like, why is he this strong?" Because we had heard him be built up for hundreds of episodes. So,
Hmm.
like, Doom is a great character, and he has the potential to be this big world threat. But a lot of that potential comes from, I mean, if you've seen in the comics all the Secret Wars stuff, it takes a lot of plotting for him to actually get that power.
right.
So to
Right.
come out with just, hey, here's Doom, and he's stronger than Thanos. He can stop Thor's Stormbreaker with his hand. It's like,
Two
I'm
fingers, not his hand. Two
yeah,
fingers.
yeah. It gives me that like, who's this guy? Why is he? What? We could, you
Which,
know what I
Problem
mean?
is,
yeah,
and the problem is, you can't just explain his power by being a big, strong alien. Like you look at
right.
Thanos and you're like, oh yeah, he looks strong. Doom
Yeah,
is a human.
he's bigger
You
than
gotta
But hey,
you gotta
but even
explain why he's stopping
yeah.
Thor, all that power,
Right.
and so like we gotta get an explanation as to how
William
Doom got
also
his powers
so
too.
even with Thanos, right? Because Thanos was a big strong, but Thanos had the gauntlet, so they
Right,
were able to
exactly.
they were able to show us Thanos' power because we had seen the power of the gauntlet. We had a reference. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
when Peter grabbed the Power Stone, he exploded. He needed all of his friends, and they were and their face, you know, their skin was still falling off their faces. They barely survived. But Thanos has the power of three already on his own, so we already had a sense of his power.
hmm
Yeah,
So even with the big scary alien, we can still kind of reference his power. But with Doom, we have nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which you bring up a great point because I talk with my coworkers all the time and they are casual fans. Um, and
Casuals.
yeah, the
Harry,
casuals.
this you filthy casual.
And he was like, "Why is Doctor Doom stronger than Thanos?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, if they're going with the
Because
God Emperor Doom," and then I had to explain all that, and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I can see how
you
this is
gotta.
going to be an issue
Yeah,
because
right,
he becomes, if I'm remembering correctly, he becomes God Emperor Doom
right.
during Secret Wars,
yeah.
not before.
In the comics, he yeah, he becomes like the God Emperor Doom, and he has like that
Yeah,
Doom.
because he takes
Yes,
the
of
numbers
course.
now.
Yeah, he can stop. He can warp reality. I mean, everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
I mean,
there was a lot of comic plotting to get to
right.
that point.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah, so this Doom is you're right. This Doom is essentially going to have to start off as God Emperor Doom
Yeah,
in this
and where do you
movie.
go
And
from
maybe
there?
they'll explain it like in Secret Wars, but so that sounds like that's some of the things that you don't like. The world building is not
Yeah.
fleshed out enough. We
And then
don't have
I
enough
got
explanation for
you
how
said three
strong
things,
Doom
right?
is.
I got one more. I got one more.
One more. Okay.
Yeah, so and this is the Justice League problem, where again they're having this huge story with all these characters, but we aren't taking the time to build up like even with Endgame. But by the time that we got to Endgame, they could just give you a million characters and not explain anything because in
It's
theory you
already
had watched
explained.
them all,
There's
right? And
nothing to
also
explain.
Endgame
hmm
didn't really have to worry about being a movie because of Infinity War. We kind of know the plot. Endgame's job is to have a little bit of movie and then a big fight, right? Because that we had our soul of a movie in Infinity War, right? It's time for the big fight, and we saw the characters and everything. This movie is trying to pull in way more characters than Endgame without any
hmm
like you're gonna have to introduce the mutants because a lot of people might not know who they are. You're gonna have to introduce what's his name? Gambit. Because I mean, who all has? You can't assume everyone's seen Deadpool versus Wolverine. You
Right.
know what I mean? You're
hmm
gonna and you have to introduce the Fantastic Four because has everybody seen that movie? You have to introduce Doctor Doom. You have a whole new villain to bring up. It's like this movie is gonna be 45 minutes of intro and then the 45-minute fight scene. I feel like I don't know.
Also, I don't know if I ever asked this, but like, are you black, Josiah? Like, I know you're light skinned, but like, are you mixed?
I'm Puerto Rican, but
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, if you want to get right down to the nitty gritty, um, there's a lot of Africa in Puerto Rico, so who's to say? I
All
don't
right, you're still a blurred. It counts.
know.
Okay,
I
Alex,
guess
you got.
Yeah.
he's a purd.
I do think at least it looks like Robert Downey Jr. will do a good job. Obviously, we have the big problems with the world building. I am kind of amazed that I'm like, oh, what I was going to say earlier, because in the comics, Thor is known for giving these galvanizing speeches, and while the MCU has kind of let Captain America take that role,
Mhm.
it's like because they didn't know what to do with Thor and they just turned him into a goofball, and people are like, oh, he's funny. It's like you forget that like Thor rallied armies and armies, and it's like I understand like what the idea was behind the Russos not wanting him to or wanting him to like get some closure from his mother and realize he's not meant to be a king. And then it's like I feel like he went through all of that to show like, hey, maybe I'm not a king. Maybe I shouldn't leave. Maybe I should let Valkyrie do it. And then in Love and Thunder, all he does is like lead and like he tells people what to do while being a
Mhm.
complete idiot at the same time. And it's like,
Well,
just
yeah,
let the
we'll take
man
things
be a
back to,
king. Like, just
Jamie
let
Foxx.
the man be a king. Thor is a
Yeah,
king. It's what he does. And it's like, this
yeah.
is like, I feel like I was seeing like Rune King Thor, where he was giving that speech of like, put your petty squabbles aside. Like
Mhm.
it was a cool moment to have. And it makes me like, if there's nothing else, I'm looking forward to a good portrayal of Thor because I feel like we haven't
Absolutely.
gotten one in a long time.
A lot of people, whenever I ask them who their favorite superhero is, once I know that they have an interest in it, most of the time, or more often than not, I get two answers, and that's Thor and Hulk. So the fact that both of those characters were done so dirty is honestly abysmal.
Hmm.
So I'm very happy to see that they're actually taking an initiative to give Thor the leader role that he can do so well
It's just
because he has been. He
right.
is a leader.
I mean, he's been leading, like, I know as much as we think about, like, Captain America, and, like, Thor was arrogant in Thor, and, like, he did, but, like, he has been, while he was kind of like an arrogant butthole, he has been leading longer than, like,
Yeah,
10 of Captain America's lifetimes put together, because the dude is 1,500 years old.
yeah,
And, like,
exactly.
we kind of forget about that. So I guess those are
Okay,
kind of the two things that I
Yoshi,
like.
do you have do's and don'ts? Pluses and minuses on the trailer?
Oh, so the plus, one of the biggest ones, I love seeing the X-Men in their more close, more closely resembling the comics costumes.
That
I'm a
was
big
cool.
costume guy, so
Hmm.
that's one thing that catches my eye. Um, and that's one of the pluses without getting too much into detail about it.
Hmm.
Um, and then the other one, just like William was saying, I'm loving the accent that Robert Downey
Uh,
Jr.
Latvia.
Would not be
Yeah,
able to deter. I can't even
yeah.
read it.
I thought it was great.
Hmm.
I thought it was interesting that we see him first unmasked whenever we're in that silhouette. So
You can't have RJ and not show that face, bro.
Hmm. Well, this is okay. So we're gonna get into my bold prediction
Are
in
you
a little
saying it's
bit.
going to be incursions and they're going to fast track Secret Wars?
I'll explain in a second. So first of all, the last thing that I don't really like
Oh,
is
wait, really fast. Do you have any
good.
don'ts, Josiah? Do you have any don'ts? Because you said a
um
lot of positives.
yeah, well, as far as dislikes, for me it's hard to say what I dislike because playing Mephisto's advocate, I don't know if they're I don't know. I don't know where
That
exactly
was perfect.
the trailer is taking place in the timeline of the
Right.
movie. So
Hmm.
we could be like being introduced to people like an hour ago, and they're just doing all this, and we're now at the point where we're seeing the threat, and
Hmm.
Thor's now rallying the troops and like, you guys need to stop fighting because we saw in the trailer that there was a lot of fighting going on between heroes. So that speech is probably like well into like maybe at the end of the first act, if
Hmm.
not halfway through the second. I
Hey,
don't know.
Wim, I have a question. Could you do me a favor? Can you pull up the trailer again?
Sure. Do you need to look at a certain part of it?
Yes.
Did you finish your point, Josiah?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
so I don't have too many things negative to say just yet. Once we get a little more information on that, then I'll get my negatives.
Okay. Yeah, while I'm waiting for it to load, the only thing I was gonna say as well, as far as like specifically what I don't like, I know the Russos want this to be a direct um sequel to Endgame, basically. I do
Oh,
not
really?
like. I already knew. Yeah, that's the plan. They want people
What do you
who've seen
mean?
Endgame to be like what happened in Endgame is directly going to affect this movie.
Okay,
So
what?
that's why you saw at the very end, you saw Steve Rogers come back because they want it to tie directly to Endgame, and
Yeah.
I do not like that. I don't like Captain America coming back. I thought it was great that he came back in Deadpool and Wolverine as
Uh-huh.
Human Torch.
But
Like
yeah,
that
because
was
that was
awesome.
Torch. That was that
Right.
that, that, that was
That wasn't
hilarious.
Captain America. But
That's
to
because Ryan
me,
Reynolds gets the joke, bro.
because again, it's like we kind of ended the story, like Endgame closed the story of three of the OG Avengers, Black Widow, Iron Man, and Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
And by bringing Steve Rogers back and Robert Downey Jr. back, the only OG Avengers whose story you ended was Black Widow.
Dang. Hashtag
Everyone else, you're still keeping
feminism.
the story going. It's and to me, it's it was it's good. It's done. You don't need like I
Yeah.
don't even think Marvel needed Steve Rogers or Robert Downey Jr. to come back in order for the movie to be successful. But that's what they felt that they needed to do. And
Loki, when
that's
I when I
fine with
when
that.
they first showed Steve in the trailer, it looked like Bucky for a sec. I thought that was gonna be Bucky is worthy now. Like, oh, that's nice. But then they're like, he looked up and it was Cap. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you need to see in the trailer,
Honestly.
Alex?
Go to a minute 30 seconds.
Okay, let me go ahead and share. Go ahead, Josiah, what you're saying while I do that share.
Oh yeah. This was a stupid side point, but when we first saw Captain America, I thought he had a man bun. I was like, bold choice.
Bold choice. A minute 30, you said?
No, wait.
Sure.
Okay, one more. Go one more second. Okay, pause. Who is that?
That's Namor.
That's
Who is it?
name.
That's
That's
Namor
Namor.
from
Okay, so
Wakanda
okay,
Forever.
but that's part of my problem. So they're gonna have to introduce all these. Do you know how many
I'm
people
like, you
have not
saw
seen Wakanda
Wakanda
Forever?
Forever, Alex.
Right,
Otherwise, you
but
would have got your black card taken.
do you know how many people haven't?
Yeah, I
So
know.
they have to introduce this guy too. They have to introduce so many characters. How long is
Hmm.
the movie? Do we have a runtime?
It's probably gonna be 3 hours. I mean,
Yeah, I think
That's
it's
not enough. We need a Snyder cut. We need a 4 hour.
a 4 hour cut. Yeah,
yeah,
so that's. I mean, and again, I do like for someone like me. Obviously, I don't need this exposition because I watch these movies over and over again, and I talk about
right,
them and like I live them.
right,
And like maybe if Marvel had done a better job bringing people in, because it's like in some parts, like yeah, if you saw Avengers Endgame and you never saw Black Panther, and then
right.
you saw Infinity War and you never saw Black Panther, and you saw him walking with all these Wakandan warriors, you would have been like, what's happening, right? But like it didn't matter because
Well,
most people saw Black Panther.
also,
So
if you saw Endgame, you saw Infinity War, and they had.
even
Didn't
in
they go
Infinity War,
back?
you would have been confused when they landed in Wakanda if you never saw Black Panther, because you'd
Right.
be like, why is this African country like what is happening here?
Although I
If you
mean,
have seen
I think
Civil
it's.
War, maybe you would get it. But if you hadn't seen Black Panther, but again, who didn't
I
see Black
think.
Panther? Everybody
Well,
did.
wait. I think it's fair to say that there's a decent chunk of people who only ever tune in for the Avengers movies.
Yeah,
Right.
very true.
And that's why they wanted to bring back Steve Rogers, and that's why they wanted to directly connect to Endgame. But again, to me, it's
I'm
like
sure
you
there's a
gotta
lot of
let
people
those
who
stories go.
there's a
Go
lot of
ahead.
people who watched Endgame said, it kind of sucks. Like maybe they watched one movie after Endgame, said, it kind of sucks, and then they haven't seen anything. But then like, oh look, a new Avengers movie. Oh, everybody's here. Okay, I'll watch this.
Hmm.
So they haven't seen Black Panther. They probably haven't seen Fantastic Four. They probably haven't seen
Probably
Deadpool
haven't seen
versus
Loki.
Wolverine. They definitely haven't seen Loki.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too. Yeah, because
So
like
now,
a
right.
lot of people they just watch the movies, they don't watch the shows, which I think the only show that is exclusively from there
Did they show any
is
character exclusive? Any show exclusive characters?
yeah, yeah, I
Show
guess not.
exclusive characters, not besides,
Like
not in the
the
trailer.
defend well, because Loki isn't show like the Defenders, right? So like you know,
Luke
Well,
Cage, he
Luke
wasn't in the
Cage.
trailer.
Yeah,
Are
he's
they
not.
are they really bringing back everybody except for these bozos? That was the one thing about Endgame. We're like, oh man, they could have brought in
The
uh
Defenders.
the defenders, but they still aren't going to bring them in.
They live on
Do
the
you think that
TV
they're
screen.
coming?
No.
I don't
So
Hey,
think.
wait. Daredevil had like a 5 minute scene in Spider-Man, so he's no longer TV exclusive.
TV exclusive. Okay, so
Correct.
let me know what you guys want to hear first. So do you want to hear my bold prediction that might not be that bold, or do you want to? I have a question I need to ask you.
Ask us the question first.
The question.
Yeah,
Okay.
ask the question because I think we're on the same wavelength as far as the bold.
Question.
I think
Okay.
your bold prediction is just going to be the incursions.
No, my bold prediction is it's much more specific.
Okay.
So
Okay. I'll give it up. I'll give it up.
Question.
at this scene right here, I'm gonna share it right now, so you see what I'm talking about. This part is what's been screwing me up about this trailer
What's been
because
screwing you
the
up?
rest of it is pretty straightforward. But
Oh,
Loki
Loki.
Yeah.
in his jacket, because if you
Mhm.
remember, like he's wearing his TVA jacket in that scene. Let me see if I can go back a little bit so you can see it, where he's holding up the card.
If you
So
if
it's
you use your
looking
arrow
like,
keys, you can go
oh
back
yeah,
easier.
yeah. Let me can I make it?
You can kind of 5 second if you use your arrow keys. And if
Well,
you
I
do the
just want to
space
make it
bar,
super slow.
I think if you do space bar, it goes
Playback
frame by frame.
speed, yeah. Okay, so like
Oh,
you see Loki with the TVA card. And
okay.
Right.
this is the part that's messing me up because what point are we at Loki with, right? Because when we started, like Loki ended with him being you've seen Loki,
The
right,
goddess.
Yoshi? You finished it. Yeah, because you're not a casual. I knew that. So we finished Loki with him holding Yggdrasil. And it
Yeah.
seemed like he was
Yeah.
pretty much trapped there. Like he
Yeah.
can't
The
just
That's
get up and
god.
leave.
we
That
assume.
Yeah. The
defeat the whole
god.
purpose of what he did, right? The
God of
sacrifice.
stories.
He's
Yeah.
stuck there. So
Essentially trying to fix himself.
Excuse
seeing
me.
him walk around is like, did he like it either would have to be that like Doom made it there and stole the power and now Loki has to go warn somebody else? Or is it like somehow in the past before Loki
Okay.
became Yggdrasil, but
Can
if
I
it's
make my
before
prediction?
then, how
Because
does that work?
it kind of ties into what you're saying. I
Go ahead.
think, from what I can see, because Doom talks about that there's a threat coming, and everyone comes together. So I would assume that they're just going to do the incursions, and so the incursions all happen. Doom does what he does in Secret Wars, where he gets Strange and Matthew Malloy. It's probably not going to be Strange and Molecule Man because we don't they aren't real. But Doom's going to find some way to absorb the power of the Beyonders and become God King Doom, and then they have to fight him. They're only going to do that because if they do, they can. That's their way to bring every. That's their excuse. All the universes fell on top of each other, and that's why everybody is in the same universe. And that would also be like Loki's whole thing was he's trying to protect the multiverse. But if all the universes incurge, I
Incurred,
don't know.
incurred.
If they all collide, then Loki would he would notice, and B he would not be needed. His job is to protect the branches, but there will be no more branches. There's only going to be one universe.
So the basically, in order for Loki to be in that scene at that part,
He needs to have
something
nothing
has
to
to
do.
happen with Yggdrasil. Yggdrasil has to fail in some way, either
Right,
by
and
the
that's what
incursions or by Doom stealing all of that power.
I would
Which
say it's both. The incursions happen, and then
both?
Doom takes the power, and then that's why Doom is the threat.
Okay, because I was thinking they might even like that might be how the movie starts off with Doom taking the power of Yggdrasil for whatever reason because he sees the
Yeah.
incursions coming and thinks he has to take the power in order to stop it. So I guess that makes a little bit more sense, but it's like timeline wise, it doesn't really work unless it's failing.
Did you have an answer to William's question, Yoshi?
No, it was more of a thought right in line with that because just like William was saying, Doom has always been like a power hungry person, but it was because he wanted control because he felt he could do better than
Mhm.
everyone else. The consequences be what they be. He was like, no, my way is the best way. It's gonna be great,
So
basically.
maybe
So because that's
yeah.
kind of the vibe that I was getting when he was talking in the beginning. He's like, there's something coming that it's beyond us.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like he was
Oh, did he say
looking
that
at the mirror.
specifically?
He said something is coming, something that we may not be able to deter. That was him at the beginning. That was him
Yeah.
talking.
Oh,
He didn't
okay.
say beyond.
He didn't say okay because I
That
was
was
like, oh,
my
he said
bad.
beyond.
I was
Oh,
like, oh,
okay.
Hold on.
you saw that
No.
like ding. But it is cool
Okay.
because that could be what he's
Okay, wait.
talking about, and maybe that's kind of the whole thing. Like he
Yeah,
thinks that Loki's doing a bad job as the god of stories, and he can do better because he would stop the incursions.
yeah,
But how
Maybe
would he
right.
know? Do normal
that's the
people know
whole. It's
about
like
that?
again, I feel like you got to explain that,
Well, they
or maybe his universe is going to be destroyed. But they also think that he's going to be from the Fantastic Four universe
see, I don't think he
because,
is.
well,
I
why
think he
else
is.
would you tease that the Latverian delegate is not there if he's not from their universe? That's the weirdest tease
Here's
ever because it's like that doesn't make any sense.
He's not there because
yeah.
he's in another universe, bro.
Right. So,
Keep
but that
up.
means he had to come from their universe,
I
right?
know, I
Like,
know. Okay, okay.
Or
Or what do you got
or
to
he
say?
just doesn't agree with how the Future Foundation UN is running things, and he's like, I can do better. I'd win.
Yeah,
sure,
it
but
could
that would
just be
also mean that
Doom.
this Doom, but like if that's the like this Doom would have to be from their universe. Otherwise, you'd
It's
have
I
a
would,
possible.
Doom
William.
from a failed
Also, William,
universe and just a random Doom in 828 who
don't
just doesn't
Yeah.
agree with them. It's like, why
don't
would we care
forget
about him?
that. Don't forget that right now Marvel is flying by the seat of their pants. So I wouldn't take every little detail as somebody
That's what we
thought this through.
do. That's what we do. As someone
We
who thought this
we
through.
dissect things
Yeah.
to the atom, to the
Uh,
molecular
and that's the sad part
structure.
because that's what it used to be. Like every
I
single
know.
detail could have meant
I
something.
know.
Yeah.
And so,
Which
Okay.
I still think it does. I still think it does.
mhm.
Um, especially because the Russo brothers are still at the helm of this.
Yeah.
They have a lot more toys to play with,
A
and
lot. They have all the toys. They said we're
they
getting
have all the
every
toys,
single toy I've ever
Every
played with.
toy.
except probably
I want it.
Spider-Man.
And again, it's like it does kind of make sense because it's like, how do you go bigger than the culmination of a 22 movie arc with
Right.
Endgame? Well, you
Yeah.
do the multiverse and you do the movies and you bring in
Hmm.
characters from the movies that arguably helped you start the multiverse saga, like X-Men and Spider-Man. The people, like, it makes sense on how you can outdo it. But the
Right, but
problem
don't
is
outdo
you
it
got
without
to
any
give it the
setup.
same amount of setup.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
hard part. And I think,
What's
again, it's like, oh, my bold
your
prediction.
bold prediction? Yeah, you
Yeah, okay,
can't
I'll
tease
make this
that for
point and then I'll
500
say,
years and never.
well, okay, so and it's sad because like we don't really need Doomsday right now. Like it would have been fine if we Doomsday came out 2 years from now and we had more time of setup.
Hmm.
Like
Honestly,
most people would say they would rather had a second, maybe even a third Shang-Chi movie before Doomsday. The problem is none of the movies
Definitely a
were
second.
going towards anything. Every other
Yeah.
movie you had the Infinity Stones, and each movie was building on that. And the reason why
Yeah.
people were getting impatient because it's like every plot hole you just wrap up neat every plot you just wrap up neatly and end it
yeah,
and it's like where is this all
there's
going?
no. Yeah.
Quantumania, Love and Thunder,
Right.
like that was the problem with all of them.
I
So
will say the reason why they're doing Doomsday now is because they need a kick. People are tired of Marvel right now, so they have to do
Right.
something big and bold to get people back in seats. Like this will get a lot of butts in seats.
right.
It will.
And yeah, and capitalizing on that idea, once people see the characters that they're like, oh, who's that? Just like you said, Namor, a lot of people
Yeah.
might not have seen Wakanda Forever, so they're gonna go on Disney Plus and be like, oh, where's this guy from? And
Yeah.
they're gonna have the whole catalog prominently on display for people to go back and watch because a lot of people kind of gave up after Endgame.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I feel like from
Okay.
a
Yeah, I
corporate
feel that.
standpoint, there it's definitely a corporate move.
You have to think of this as not the end. This is the beginning. This is a jumping off point. Now it's weird to do a jumping off point like, oh, the biggest thing ever.
Right.
But like that's what this movie has to be. So that being said, if this is the jumping, this is their last chance, right? If this movie doesn't lay a strong, this has to lay the foundation. It has to be very very strong so that people will want to like. So this can't be a fully contained story that doesn't lead anywhere.
But
And if it
also
is,
this movie also kind of has to make like 2 billion because you're paying
Oh
Robert Downey
yeah,
Jr. like 50
no
million
doubt.
to come back
yeah,
and the Russo bro like this
Which
might be the first movie that grosses over $1 billion and breaks even because of the
breaks
insane
even.
that's
costs.
that's
Like
pretty yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just true.
Yeah.
So my thought process is my bold prediction should be, and this is not only a
there you
bold
go.
prediction, but I also think it's what they should do. Because if you notice very carefully, I know it looked like we could see Robert Downey Jr.'s face when the silhouette was coming up, but you could still see
Mhm.
the glint of the mask. So he was still wearing the mask in that scene, and at the very end, Thor could only look into his eyes. So my bold prediction, and what I think they even should do, In order
Mm,
to keep this movie about Doom,
very
I
bold.
do not think we're going to see Doom remove his mask or his mask come
Yeah.
off until the very end of the movie. Maybe even a
So
post-credit scene. Because that will keep
I
the movie about Doom. No one's going to talk about Tony Stark at all in this movie until the very end. Maybe Spider-Man, maybe Thor, something happens, and we might see Doom remove his mask, but not till the very end. There may not even be anybody
Oh,
around. We
right.
might just see him
Yeah,
do it
that's
by himself.
yeah, that's a
But I
good point
don't think he's
because
going to take
yeah.
off his mask.
yeah, because if he takes off his mask, then they would be like, "Wait, why do you look like Tony Stark?"
And now they
Right.
have to
Which
like go through all that, which I don't think they're even going to have time to do in this movie. So I think they're just going to leave it on and let
That's
Secret
fair.
I
Wars.
think I agree with half of your point. There
Mhm.
I don't think he's gonna take off his mask majority of the movie, but he might start off without his mask. And hear me out. Because
Okay.
they said that they are going to write into the plot why they're using Robert Downey Jr. again, but in a different role. So I have a feeling that they're going to use the face he's going to use his face to kind
Hmm.
of get people on his side. Like, yeah, trust me. I, you know me. Yeah, we're allies for sure. And then after that, he's going to essentially turn on them, or they're going to do it the other way around. He's going to be most of the time from the beginning with his mask on, and
Hmm.
then in small separate occasions, he's not going to have his mask,
Oh, you know
and
what,
and it's
William?
gonna it's gonna kind of mess with their heads. Like, wait, is this the
Yeah,
same guy?
Now,
I
there's a
can.
lot of
I
theories
wait, wait,
about the
wait.
cap. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I'm more on Josiah's side now because of the scene with Cap and Thor.
Hmm.
If he had revealed his face, that would have thrown Thor off. So, because Thor, I mean, Thor was obviously surprised, but he seemed really, really surprised. Like, how are you here? And it would make more sense if he had seen the Doom Tony and been like, wait, why are you, like, Tony Stark, how are you back? And then he gets betrayed. Then he sees Cap come back, and now he's like, are you also a bitch, you know? And then the fact that Cap is
Well,
worthy could bring him that could be the confirmation that this is Cap. Whereas that Doom was fake, that was a fake Tony. This is truly Cap because he's still worthy.
that is kind of another theory that people are kind of like playing out because they feel like Doom is always going to need some allies in order to go up against all of the Avengers. And they're thinking
Right.
so that to make it easier for the Russo brothers, he might do like a Dark Avengers thing. So some people are theorizing that like the Cap from Secret Empire when Red Skull used the Cosmic Cube to make Cap be a Hydra agent, that
Yeah.
could just be a Cap variant who just was a Hydra agent and ended up like when basically when Winter Soldier happened in their universe, Hydra wins and the whole world is under Hydra. And if Doom
Yeah.
recruits him, even in that comic run, which I don't really agree with, but in that comic run, they call him Stevel, he was worthy and he
They call
wielded
him
Mjolnir for a
Stevel.
fight. Yeah, it was weird. And so the ultimate act of betrayal would be if Thor is fighting Doom because he seemed like he was rushing Doom like not a guy who I think is Tony. He was rushing Doom like I need to kill this guy right now. So like he did something to make him to piss Thor off that
Yeah.
much. He didn't rush him like a guy like I wonder if this is Tony or what's going on.
Well,
So
also he
that
might have
makes me
rushed him
think
like
that if because to like I know what you mean like he Doom could have betrayed him in a way that like seems
yeah,
like
like
but
he
it's
might be
like
rushing him like a guy who said it was Tony, but also but then kill all my friends.
right, and like that would be dark. And like maybe they are building up to that part of the movie, but it seems like with everything else that's going on, like that's a whole plot line because he would have to like even if he's Tony coming back, he still would have to like earn Thor's trust and explain like why is he alive now or where is he from or what's happening. So a lot of people are theorizing that this Steve is going to be a dark version that gets Mjolnir from Thor, and he's the one that betrays all of the Avengers. And that's why
Yeah.
I still think I don't know, like I said, we'll see. But I think the best way to introduce us to a Doctor Doom is even if you really want Robert Downey Jr. to play him, let's not talk about Tony Stark. And in order to do that, he's got to keep his mask on the entire movie. And even if you did like an origin story or like explaining like how he came to be, he would be younger back then, so you just use a different actor to play the younger version of him. Like
Well, I
the
mean, they
audience
could.
doesn't even have to know that it's Robert Downey Jr., until the very end. And some people who, again, are not, the casuals who don't know, who only know what Iron Man looks like, they see him take off his mask and they're like, that's crazy.
Well, I
Because
think the whole
they
world
didn't even
knows that
know.
RDJ is playing him, right?
I don't know. There's a lot of people, like you said, that just see Avengers online and it's going to be in
Yeah.
theaters and they just show up. So you never really know. But that's kind of and I think that would make the movie better because it would give us a chance to flesh out Doom and get to know Doom instead of trying to get to know a bad version of Tony.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, I have low expectations. It looks
Low
like it's gonna be
expectations.
it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun, but it's got a lot. It has a lot of ground to cover and not enough time to do it. Even if 3 hours, give it 4 hours, not enough time to do it.
Well, I mean, and
Just
like
do 6 hours.
Marvel is still like a machine. Like my friend was talking about how he thinks a lot more people are hyped for Doom 3, and I'm hyped for Doom Part 3 too. Don't get me wrong. But like I don't Doom 3 is not going to outgross Marvel. Like this is
No.
not like a competition thing. The
Yeah.
the your best Dune movie did 750 million, Dune Part 2, and it was hugely hyped. And it
Wait,
had
so
no
Dune isn't over?
competition.
I
Huh?
thought I thought Dune was over. Didn't they finish?
No, the third
Oh, we
one's
got
coming out this year,
the
same
third
day.
one.
Uh,
Yep.
Yeah,
I
and
was
I'm
not
like
impressed by Dune.
750 is just pedestrian for most Marvel films if it grosses that. Like that's what Black Panther Wakanda Forever made.
Also,
And we're
having
talking
having
about people not
Doom
even having seen it. So
having Doomsday and Dune 3 is gonna be it's gonna confuse a lot of people.
you're gonna see
It's
Doomsday
the
or
Should we
Dune
go
3?
see
Barbenheimer
Dune?
thing. It's just going to be Doomsday.
It's gonna be
Doomsday.
Doomsday. That this is like Barbenheimer all over again.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
Doomsday. Oh my god,
Let's
that's
make it
funny.
happen.
All
I'm
All
gonna
right.
right,
make
do
a
you guys have
shirt.
any closing thoughts on the trailer, whether good or bad?
I have a thing that I noticed one of the times that I was watching it. When they were flashing through the different characters, they they had an Invisible Woman, and then they had Namor in succession. I'm like,
Uh,
that's interesting that you did that. I don't think I don't think anything's gonna happen with that, but that was kind
hey,
of
all
you
right.
knew what you were doing. You
He's
knew
gonna
what
hit
you
on
were
her.
doing when you
He's
put
gonna
that
hit on
in the
her.
slideshow.
And I mean, again, to
He's
me,
gonna hit on her, bro.
and that's the thing that's kind of like disappointing almost, because it's like if we had gotten another appearance from Namor or another appearance from Sue Storm, another Fantastic Four movie before this, we
Yeah.
could have built that up. Like this didn't
Right.
have to be the first
Yeah.
time they were meeting. We could have seen
No.
like, oh yeah, Namor's gonna hit on Sue again, or like now it's just gonna feel like a random nod to the comics. But for anybody
Yeah.
else, they're gonna be
Which
like, why is this fish
why?
man hitting on a woman from a
Yeah.
different dimension? It would make
Right.
no
Yeah,
sense
exactly.
if you don't know the
Yeah.
comic.
Also, because even if you watch the Wakanda Forever, Namor was never really like sexualized.
You didn't see him
Like he
as like
never
a
hit on any.
he wasn't being
No,
romantic
but
in
you know
that
what I mean.
movie.
He wasn't. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't like hitting on people. He was
What was that,
It
Alex? He
was
wasn't
more
like
like, hey
Rico
Shuri,
Suave.
uh, you can marry me and we'll unite our realms, or I can just drown
You
everybody.
know what I mean? Oh,
Unite our
that's what
realms.
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. He wasn't really a womanizer in the
No.
in the in the
Yeah,
movie.
no.
So if he became one, it would come out of left field.
Yeah.
And also,
And
Whereas
hitting on
like
one person doesn't really make you a womanizer. It's just they haven't gotten time. We needed more time with this character. It's just that
yeah,
simple.
also, he hasn't seen a blonde lady yet, so
yeah, he's only ever seen
he's
fish
gonna be
people
I guess
like,
and
that's a
black
good
"What?
point.
people.
Your hair is made of
That's true.
gold?
But
That's
he
wild."
kind of strikes me as someone who like because he hates surface people, that like he would probably
Yeah.
kill a white blonde person quicker
Yeah.
than he would like try. Like you know what I mean? Like he'd just like
It's
stab.
possible.
Like I
Also,
don't
to be
really.
fair, like wait, if he was like a womanizer, like if he was hitting on everybody, then it would make more sense. As soon as he sees Sue, he just hits on her. He's like, oh,
Right,
that's just who he
right.
is. But we have no
But we have no basis for that, and we're
we
not
have
going to
no
see
basis.
it because they're going to
No.
introduce them right away. So it's
Also,
part of the world building lore.
Why was Shang-Chi fighting Gambit? Why
I
would
thought
they
that was
fight?
cool,
So,
but yeah,
I mean, sure, but like,
so
why would they fight?
I think there was I don't remember exactly, but I think there was something in the trailer that they were kind of like, yo, our Earths are literally crashing into each other. And it's kind of like the whole prison thing in movies where it's like take out the big guy first. It's like they're seeing other super powered humans. They're like, you must be causing this. It's time to scrap. But I,
Yeah, it's
that's
hard because
why.
it's like when two groups of heroes meet, they always fight. Like that's how they
Yeah,
always do
yeah,
it. Like
exactly.
when the Guardians met the Avengers in Infinity War, they were
Yeah,
fighting, but it made sense because Star-Lord thinks that these random things are minions of Thanos, and they're on this planet and they get attacked by these things who are thinking like it makes sense. But it's like
right.
if I'm randomly entering your world, how is beating you guys up gonna stop your world from getting destroyed? And it's
I know.
like
You know what
it
happened, William? You
doesn't
know what
make
happened?
sense.
Gambit said that thing that he said to Deadpool about how he was born when he was like, I was in a all alphabet, I like butter nuts, and I was like, "What's up, Doc?" And then Shang-Chi was like, "This guy's got to go.
This guy's
That's
gotta
enough."
go. Yeah.
I gotta take him out.
Yeah, yeah,
I can't
yeah.
No.
understand
I
And
him.
that
can't
started the
understand it.
whole
I'm pretty
thing.
sure he's
All I heard was buttery nuts, and I'm
Yeah. No, Shang-Chi heard that accent and was like, no, no.
he's
Fake.
like, all right.
Are you making fun of me
Oh.
because I'm Asian, bro?
No, I didn't. I said raisin. I said raisin. Any other thoughts, guys, before we sign off?
No,
I think that's it.
I'm interested to see.
I'm very interested.
Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested to see how it
But
plays out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not gonna hold one opinion one way or the other until we get more information. I try to be objective about it all.
Yeah, I
This
am
movie could suck for all we know. It
right.
could be absolutely
Garbage.
Yeah.
cheeks.
Okay,
Yep.
I will say one thing. I will say one thing. I think no matter what happens with this movie, it will be very fun.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm very sure.
It needs to be more than that because it has to be the foundation. But I think I don't that's the one thing I will say. I can't see this movie not being fun at least.
And while I don't
And you
always
know
agree
that's
with every decision that the Russo brothers have made, it's like if we look back, they've got a good track history, right?
Yes.
Like, come on, their movies are fire.
yeah.
At least
Yeah.
in Marvel. Outside of that, their movies have kind of been a little but outside of
Little
Marvel, their
little
movies are
little
fire.
little racist. We don't trade lives. Except I will trade
Trade
500
all these
Wakandans for
Wakandan
Vision.
lives. Yeah, this
They're
that's
you know.
that's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother podcast. But I will say they also do know how to give us good moments and things that we want to see. Like
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Thor's
sorry. I
Wakanda
got
entrance scene.
Vision. We don't trade lives. Well, Vision goes. Well, Tony, what about all these Wakanda soldiers? Vision, they're 3/5 of life. So.
Yeah. Well, remember Captain America, the one who said that? He's
Hey,
from the
when hey,
40s. Have
when
you
was
ever
he
seen
born?
like
Yeah, when
the
was he
clip of
born?
Captain America like coming back from the ice? And he sees a black guy. He's like, "Hey, give me some water, boy!" And they're all like, "Hey, what you doing?" And it's like, "Well, he was from the 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, come on. Oh, we don't trade lives. Well,
That's the
are they really
that's
lives?
the evil cat, man. But you know what? He's still worthy.
And even then, I would say like even that comic run idea. I did a whole video talking about it. I don't really think that a Hydra agent should just be worthy because
Be
like
worthy, yeah, because
the
like they still
idea of being
believe in their
worthy
ideals
completely
enough. Yeah.
breaks. It just breaks.
I feel like
Thing
surely
is,
Odin would be like, hey, but like the Nazi programming, you can't be worthy. Like hard code
Yeah.
into the hammer.
And someone
well,
explained that like
isn't
it's
it
more
like the
about
heart of a
believing in your
warrior?
cause. Yeah, it's like having the heart of
Right.
a
Yeah.
warrior and believing in your cause, but it's like
It could be
Okay,
negative.
well then Thanos is worthy.
right.
There have to be limits if you believe in something
Yeah.
evil.
And I guess they didn't show him not picking it up. And it's
Yeah,
like, does
exactly.
Tony Stark not believe in his cause? Because he definitely believes in himself, and he couldn't pick it up.
Well,
Is
right, but Tony was always
Hawkeye
felt
just not a
better.
good enough agent? Like, is he just not
Tony
like you know
Stark
what
is
I mean?
not.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. But well, thank you guys for joining me for this episode of We
Thank you for
Review
having us.
Doomsday. Um, leave your thoughts and theories down below. If you picked up anything that you think is going to be interesting, we kind of dropped a couple. Doom may not remove his mask. We think he's probably going to end up stealing Loki's power somehow, the beginning or the
Also,
end.
definitely
Um,
incursions. Incursions will happen.
and
Yeah,
obviously,
People will be
incursions are going to be
incurred.
happening. People will be incurred. So,
100%.
yeah. Thank you guys for joining us on the Blurred Wire. Yoshi, Milkboy, it was great having you both on at the same time. And we'll
Yes, sir.
obviously have to do this again after the Doomsday clock
Doomsday.
kicks down.
Doomsday.
Make it
Until
happen.
next time.
Doomsday. Hashtag Doomsday.
Hashtag Doomsday. All right, guys. Take care. Until next time.